Welcome to the All In Carcast. Real cars, real talk, real culture. I'm your host, Matt White, and this is your co-host,
Cam.
And today we're going to be talking about the negative effects of social media on the car scene. So I myself have been in the car scene for about 5 years, going on to 6 now. I've had a business in it for the last 5 years, which has been Cars and Cruising. We used to host meets all the time. I really started it as a media company because I started hosting meets to pull in more people to take pictures of and do photography. And somewhere along the lines, things just kind of stuck. You know, the meets just kind of became more consistent, more people kept showing up. It was just really cool. It was something that I really found myself enjoying. I had previous experience with cars because my older brother has been in the scene for way longer than me. I mean, I'm talking probably about 12 years now, if not longer. He's built a good bit of cars. He's done a lot of work himself. He has a really sick WRX right now that's on bags. Love that car. That's the car that got me into cars. Technically, actually, it's the second car. The original WRX is what got me into cars. I myself started with a Mercedes. Spent so much money on that thing. Rebuilt it, suspension-wise, and rigged it up a little bit. Tried to make it nice. Got along with that thing for about a year before I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Robbed by a 2018 Corolla SE in white. Yeah, on my way to work. Working at Discount Tire. Oh my gosh, dude, that was a
while ago. Holy crap.
Lost that car. Got a 1990. I want to say it was a 92 Nissan Maxima. I don't even want to talk about that car. It was a older gentleman had passed, left it in his wife's care. She couldn't drive the car. It had been sitting for 10 years with gas in it. Only had like 100-something thousand miles on it. But dude, when I tell you, everything was starting to fall apart under that car. When I was trying to get it started, fuel pump was bad. There was a whole bunch of problems with it. But it was a really good learning experience getting my hands dirty, getting my hands on a car. That was the first time I had really worked on an engine other than my brother's and gotten things through. So after that, had me a Civic, a Honda Civic. That really is what started Cars and Cruising, getting it bigger on the social media wave. Posted that car a lot. It was a piece of crap. Ugly, primered, paint was coming off. Dude didn't sand anything properly. It had 18s on it. 18s on a Honda Civic, dude.
I remember that.
Stock blown suspension. I'd hit a bump.
Oh, dude, the worst.
For a little bit. Yeah, I was determined on getting that car cleaned up. Slapped some nice 16x9 rotograms on it. You know, put a carbon hood. I threw a wing on as a joke, and it stayed on because I was too lazy to take it back off. Kind of wish I did. Kind of wish I didn't. And it had a really, honestly, I hated it at first. But the Sex Spec body kit from the 2000s was kind of fire. It's what made it different. I was about to say, I hated it at first. It looked like an Eclipse bumper on a Civic, and I was like, what is this? But you start taking it out to meets, and it's different, you know? And we'll talk about making common cars different a little later. We'll debate about it. But that was my whole thing. Now I have a Lexus LS400. I have this WRX behind us. I have... oh my gosh, I have too many vehicles. I have a lot of vehicles and a bike. I love the bike the most. But yeah, that is my whole portfolio. I've been in and around the cars for a while. Had my fair share of rebuilds, rebuilt this motor, swapped the Civic once?
Twice?
Once,
you're right.
I swapped the Civic once with a newer Accord motor and transmission. That thing was so fun. And obviously... we love tailgate. We love drifting. I'll put some media up that I've done in my career, and yeah, I'm unfortunately a lot more integrated into the car scene than I thought I was.
A lot of money down the drain, right? Tell me about it. So I started off. I'm from New Jersey originally, so yeah, right, northern states. Gotta love them. I started out with my dad. He had a 1969 Mustang Fastback. That's the car I started working on. He never really did too much. I honestly was so young. I started out when I was like probably 6 or 7 years old when I was working on that car. I don't really remember exactly what we did to it because I was more of just a flashlight guy. Yeah, right. Everybody knows the flashlight guy.
Got to be there at least once.
Absolutely. So once I moved, that's when I really started like getting into the car scene. That was about 6 and a half years ago. My neighbor had a Infiniti i30, $700. So I got that. Love those cars. They were great
Oh
cars.
my gosh, my brother had
So
one.
much fun. It had 200,000 miles on it though, and it was getting up there. So I was on my way home one day, and just the temp gauge just started going, and then I don't know how I didn't seize that car.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's too damn bad. But so I traded that thing in, which I mean the trading value was next to nothing, for a 2012 GTI. That had a lot of I want to say electrical issues because everything mechanical on it was tested and replaced to almost be perfect. Every sensor was replaced. The ECM was replaced 3 times. I mean, the first one was fried that we got. The second one, apparently it had a tune on it. So we flashed it. That didn't work. And then we finally got one from the actual dealership. And it, just didn't work. So we tried a lot of different things. Ended up putting way too much money, about $7,000 into that car, trying to get it to run again. And so I eventually had to sell it. And then I got a 1992 Mazda MX-6.
Lovely car.
Love that car. It was, I don't know why Mazda put a V6 that pushed 125 horsepower, slow as balls, but
It was still pretty cool.
it was a cool car, and it could
nice-
move if you really got it to, if you wanted it to. But
Technically, wouldn't that have been Ford's fault because it was also the Probe?
you're right. You're right.
Because your generation specifically was
You're right.
also
that's the Probe. Oh, man, I didn't think
That
about that.
makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot more sense.
Ford, gotta love it.
And it's funny because a Ford actually took that car from me.
That's even better,
Yeah.
dude. Friendly
V6,
fire.
yeah,
That's insane.
Seriously, V6 Mustang.
To be fair, I was gonna say there was a couple Fords that Mazda made that Ford wanted to wipe off the face, like the rotary swap
Yep.
Mustang.
Yep.
That they literally went out of their way to try and find and crush. So who knows? Maybe that was a hit,
Exactly.
bro.
It probably was. I
That was
wasn't
a hit
surprised.
it was a hit on Cam, y'all.
But yeah, that got T-boned. Absolutely demolished that car. I lost that. And then I now have been on the decline of my cars. Unfortunately, I had a truck that got T-boned, and now I have another truck, which is lame, but it is what it is.
He said it's lame.
I got the Taco. I got the
I was gonna
Toyota
say,
Tacoma.
bro.
but
We made a whole road trip to Myrtle
dude.
with a
yeah,
to
but I
get a
miss my
motor.
cars, man. I miss my cars.
Dude,
Anyway,
I
it
was
was
about to
fun.
say, it's so
I had a
fun.
blast doing that. But yeah, so I used to host meets back in the day too. It was high school era. I stopped doing that when I started losing my cars. The GTI sucked so much time and money out of me that I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So, and then when I met Matt, he started hosting the meets, and I had the MX-6 at the time. Started pulling up to that, and actually, I got T-boned on the way to your meet.
Yep. That was a really sad day.
Oh, yeah.
That was a really sad day.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man, was I
Because
upset.
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that one of the Toge nights too?
Yup. Yes, it was. We got to ride the tailgate, I think, once with that car.
Allegedly.
Literally
Allegedly.
once or twice, yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
In Forza.
Right, yeah. Duh. In-game, guys.
In-game, bro. Yeah,
relax.
we'll put the footage up.
But yeah, so I've been working on cars for about, I want to say, myself personally, 4 or 5 years, but I've been working on them like my whole life with my dad, but my own work's
Certified flashlight holder.
been done. Certified flashlight holder. You
I'm
guys
gonna
know
say.
it?
He graduated
Man.
from the school of dad.
It is in my shop, so I'm probably going to be
He's
another
holding the
flashlight
flashlight
holder.
on it now.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
He got so good the flashlight holds itself.
Right.
We need to talk about social media and just how bad it has changed the car company from when we joined to now. Because even though it's been only like a solid, 5-6 years that I've been actively in the car scene,
about.
I was around my brother who's been in it for way longer, and you'll hear him talk about it all the time, how he just wishes it was so different. Dude, let's talk about people not being held accountable.
That's a big one. I feel like nowadays with social media and like a following, people get this ego about them. They see that like that little number on their screen, and they're like, oh, I have to put on a show for these guys, and they're doing it in the worst way possible. I feel like it's destructive. And going back to the beginning of when I at least became part of the car scene and the car culture, it wasn't always like that. It was more based around your build, how, you were like what you were doing with your car, your vision. Yeah. Now I feel like it's turned to this, how fast can you make your car no matter what? How loud can you be? And
how many followers do you have?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, then those people don't get held accountable because they have so many followers.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
just like, I have such and such number. I know what I'm doing. I can get away with it because these people like it.
Right.
And it's like, no, that's not it. But I mean, it's not even just like the numbers part of things. It's also the fact that like the publicity stunts, people.
It's a big one.
Dude, the amount of reposted videos I've seen from Gatlinburg of the burnout of the Lambos racing and just all the bad stuff, like you like to say, bad publicity is good publicity.
Still publicity. Still good publicity.
And it's a huge thing. Like I understand a lot of people wanting to use that as a hook, like this is what we don't do as a car scene. But you got to understand, a lot of people don't look into those videos.
Right.
Unfortunately, our attention span, the natural human attention span, has dropped to 3 seconds. You get 3 seconds to hook someone's attention, and that's it. If you make the first 3 seconds a burnout or a takeover or some harmful, destructive thing about the car community, they're not going to watch the video and go, oh, yeah, this is totally not what they're about. No, they're going to see the takeover, and they're going to go, look at these dummies, bro.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
And it's still being put out there. It's
dude.
on your feed. It's still out there. You can see what they're doing.
The number one thing trending with cars right now is the destructive acts that went down in Gatlinburg.
And that's the problem. The fact that that's one of the biggest trending things is, and not even just with Gatlinburg, it definitely is with Gatlinburg, but you know how, again, your feed is developed off of, what you like, right? All that stuff. I like the cars, right? I get a lot of great builds and a great just chill, videos and whatever. But I also get the takeover stuff. It's because the algorithm is seeing, okay, cars, this is what's popping right now, this is what you want to see.
And the fact that your algorithm is what associates.
And that's the problem. I'm not clicking on those videos. I'm not out here looking them up. It's associating those takeover videos with just regular car culture, and that's horrible.
It's really bad. It's misleading. Like a lot of the news from the weekend of Gatlinburg. Like a lot of people like to emphasize how bad Jimmy's Market was, and oh my gosh, that just made the whole thing a bad event. Blah blah blah. This that. No, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was a perfect, calm evening. But most of the time at Gatlinburg, as somebody who was in Gatlinburg, it was relatively chill. Yes, the traffic sucked. The traffic was the worst. I mean, you took an hour to go a mile. You could literally walk from your Airbnb to somewhere on the strip before you drive there and get home before you would even arrive. So, yes, there were some downs to Slam Enough, but it was still a very fun event. It sucked to have a lot of people cancel out and leave early on Sunday. It sucked that the whole show itself was just like, all right, we're done. We can't sustain this anymore because of actions that didn't even happen at the convention center. Let's talk about that part. None of the stuff that went down that was horrible went down at the convention center. It happened about a solid, 30 minutes away in Pigeon Forge. Mm-hmm. And it was so wild there. People wanted to disrespect authorities. People wanted to get their 20 seconds of fame. And they did such crazy things that it affected the actual show that was nowhere near the strip.
Because they associated it with just regular car culture.
Can't have that on their name.
No, absolutely
I was
Where
say.
Slam Enough goes, that's going to follow.
Right.
Nobody's going to.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good look for Slam Enough to have that associated with them. But that's what the city wanted.
Right.
I believe that's what the city wanted.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's exactly what they wanted. I mean, do you see how fast they shut it down? They shut it down immediately.
No. Not even how fast they shut it down. How fast they got things back up Sunday. They opened the brick lot first thing in the morning and put it out there that the brick lot was open. You telling me you couldn't do this the whole week? You couldn't just have one or two cops manage the brick lot the entire week? Mm-hmm. And then nothing happens at the brick lot and they shut it down again, putting all these cars back on the street. They took away spots for you to hang out and get off the street to incite traffic, to make it a doozy for the locals so that they could easily convince the city, hey, look at this is bad.
And for me, so back in high school, I used to host some car meets. And the car meets I would host, there was actually this one cop who, we all knew him, we all loved him, he was a great guy. He would show up and actually sanction our meets, if that makes sense. He would literally show up and block an exit. And I asked him one time, I'm like, hey man, do you need us to go? Are you shutting us down? He goes, no, dude. He's like, I'm here to watch and make sure that no other cops get the wrong idea and mess with you guys. I'm like, I appreciate that. It went great for about 2 to 3 meets. And then, of course, one person decided to light off fireworks right in front of his car.
Oh my gosh.
He lights me up. I walk over there. I'm like, listen, man, you do what you need to do to him. You shut us down if you need to. But I promise you, he's not associated with us. And the one thing he said is, listen, man, I get that, but you're still here with them. You're hosting this meet. You need to take responsibility. And that's the hardest part. How can you have meets nowadays without having to run the risk of getting in trouble yourself because you have some
Especially with Charlotte enforcing
Right.
the whole takeover thing.
That's the biggest thing.
$1,000 fine.
I don't go to Charlotte anymore. I don't.
$1,000
It's hard for
fine.
me to go to Charlotte meets now because of that. I'm
I
too
was
scared to
gonna
like do stuff.
because they're gonna assume that you're the
Right.
host. You're hosting a takeover meeting.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. It's bad. But that's where respecting authority. The
Absolutely.
people's attitude towards authority is a really huge thing. All right, if cops are gonna go to a meet and they know, okay, most of the time they're really chill. They're gonna have a better outlook towards it. They're not gonna be so aggressive. They're not gonna be like buttholes about it. But the way that people were acting towards the cops in Gatlinburg, and it's a mix of everything we've talked about, the bad publicity, the fake and misleading news, all that stuff. I heard so many people say, oh man, they shot us, they had thrown tear gas at us and blah, blah, blah. Dude, I saw a really tiny bit of pepper spray. It was like a little tiny cologne capsule.
Right.
And the dude's quick, like
Stuff
maybe
you can
one
buy
or
at
two
Walmart.
spritz. Yeah, facts. Like he wasn't even using
Nothing
bear spray.
crazy.
We're talking Gatlinburg.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna be a little bit of a meanie here, but how weak and wimpy do you have to be to get hit with pepper spray and go, oh my gosh, tear gas?
Have you ever been sprayed with pepper spray?
It sucks.
I was gonna
But
say it does suck.
It
does
sucks,
suck. I
but
give
it's
you
not
that.
tear
But
gas.
it's not tear gas.
sucks.
Well, yeah, but at the same time though, people don't understand that. People don't understand what tear gas is because nobody.
Right, but why are
and
you gonna
they're-
go jump to the? You're just trying to get the fame, and you're
That's what I
trying
was
to
about to say. It's
Hey,
the
yeah,
whole, they
if
did
I
this,
say
that's
that
not- right.
I got hit with tear gas, they're gonna
Right.
think, oh my gosh, you poor soul, you got hit with tear gas. These cops are horrible. They hit people with tear gas. Oh man, or Gatlinburg is the Sevierville Police Department they suck because they hit people with tear gas.
Right.
No.
I hate that.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
can't
like
stand when people do
why
that.
would you blow it up more than you need to? It's ridiculous.
Also, whose fault was it? Take accountability.
Facts.
That's where there's no accountability nowadays.
It's bad. It's really bad. But no, that's just it's all the things that people are doing to try and get their little. Just I wouldn't even say 20 seconds of fame, dude. Like most of the people
that
in
is
the
what it
videos,
is, though.
the only person who got their fame from that entire weekend was the pink shirt guy.
Yep.
Everybody else just gets likes on the videos they took of the
Yep.
pink shirt guy, which also, by the way, apparently he was like a local or something. He goes
course
to the
he was.
local high school or whatever. I don't know.
Again,
I haven't confirmed
high
that.
school.
I need to
It's
look
that,
into it.
It's this younger generation too, man. I'm telling you.
Well, not even that. It's who's guiding the younger generation.
There you go. That's a better
the
way to
problem
put
is
it,
that
absolutely.
The car community got so watered down, nobody knows who to go to for guidance
Right.
anymore. And the people that take people out here are putting them in bad situations, just like takeovers, just like the people who go to takeovers. I'm going to summarize this story a lot, but I went to the hospital a while ago. One of my friends got injured, was in the hospital, and this SRT pulls up. Dude, the door opens. This lady is just bawling her eyes out. She's screaming about her back. She can't feel her legs. And from the way she was dressed, you can tell that she was really trying to just go out and have a good night. She was dressed in a really pretty red dress, everything. And the dude, obviously, typical takeover person. I'm not going to sit here and stereotype anybody, but you can tell he had no intentions of going on a nice candlelit dinner. Security guard who helps her get out of the car mentions the cops. Lady turns around, she starts wigging out. She starts telling him, no. I'm not even going to say lady. She was a young woman. She was probably at least only 20, 23. I'm hoping, I'm praying that whatever happened to her was temporary and
Absolutely.
it wasn't permanent, because losing your legs at that age,
It's a game changer.
horrible.
Yeah.
And then the person that did it to you just abandons you there. So now she's going to have this outlook on the car community for the rest of her life. You like cars, you're going to be like that bastard who took me to a takeover, got me hit, and made me lose feeling my legs.
And the problem is, it's like you said, she's going to have the outlook now on the car community, takeovers. She's not going to associate it with anything else. It's just the takeovers.
Yeah.
That's the part that ruins it for
I was
us.
about to say it's bad. I mean, but not just that. The negative view comes from everything that normal people see in their day-to-day lives, and this is where, again, accountability, headhunting, and honestly being against the whole respect all builds thing comes in. Regular traffic or just crappy builds in general. Huge thing, dude. I'm not gonna hold you, because sometimes I'm sitting at a red light. Actually, we'll talk about Gatlinburg was a really good example, because there was, for some strange reason, a lot. And I know I'm no better. I'm just lowered on wheels. The Lexus is not clean, but I'm not flaunting the Lexus like it's a fully built car.
That, and also you have a vision and you have an idea of what you want to do with the Lexus. A lot of these people, they do the wheels, they do the exhaust, and they lower the car, and then that's it. And
Yeah.
then they drive it around like they're the stuff. When
That was Gatlinburg,
Right,
dude.
and that's
You're
the
sitting
problem.
there and it's like, but normal people see that and they're like, what the heck is the point? Like, this
Right.
isn't even satisfying to look at. But it's always those people that act out the most.
Well, the thing is, I can respect it, like you were saying. Oh, well, I'm no better. I'm just lowering on wheels. I can respect that though, specifically because you have an idea of what you want to do with it. We've talked about it, and that's again a big part of going to car meets.
Yeah.
Now, when I go to car meets, I want to go talk to other guys and see what they're trying to do with their cars, or so and so. But when you get some random car slammed on some like hot pink wheels or something like that, you're not like I don't. And you hit me with the. Dude, this is
I'm sorry, that
specific
just-
example.
I
It's a little
just-
too specific. I've had this happen. But, I mean, if I come to you and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I see what you've done. What are you trying to do now? Oh, no, this is it for now. It's a show car. Come on, what? No, absolutely
Oh my
not.
gosh!
Like,
And that's where being a former host of car meets really gets a little
absolutely.
entertaining because you're
Absolutely.
sitting there like, there's no way
That this
you
is-
just
yeah.
rolled up. Not only does it look bad to the dude, I'm not gonna let that be associated with me in the meets that I want to host because I am all about quality. All right, I don't care how big
Quality
or
over
small.
quantity. That's the thing.
Dude, listen.
That's the biggest thing.
Everybody will turn their neck. Everybody will break their neck for one Ferrari in a parking lot. No one's gonna want to look at a parking lot full of regular traffic cars.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the 2006 bubbly,
Yep.
like what Euroliners on a stock ride height Passat, and there was weak spec too. The lip was like this big.
Oh,
And
dude.
the face
Oh,
was, I was
dude.
like, oh no. And he had his Instagram tag on the window on the side.
Dude, when they do the Instagram tag, I know a lot of people are going to get mad about this.
Yeah.
It is the cheesiest thing. Take it off of your car, please. It looks, ain't nobody going up to your car. Let me just take a picture of his Instagram and I'll look it up later. Or not even that. Who's going to stand at your window and just type in your Instagram tag just to follow you? It's not happening.
There's a lot of builds out there
It's
that
not
I would
happening.
be embarrassed to be caught still looking at. To be
Right,
honest.
it's not happening. Take it off.
That's
Take
the
it off your
exact
car.
reason why this car has been running and driving for a while. I still haven't taken it to a meet. It has never seen a meet.
Yeah.
That's crazy coming from someone who hosts
Right,
meets.
yeah.
It's like, I am huge on knowing your place. All right, that's gonna sound wrong, but I'm being so serious. Know your place. All right, because it is not here. It's the spectator lot a couple miles down the street. You can walk.
Absolutely.
Or better yet, find you some friends with some really clean cars
And hop in their
who
car.
are gonna bully you into cleaning your car. Like, who are gonna sit there and consistently get on your back until your car is like,
Kind of like how you
Nice.
guys bully me to buy a car.
yes, exactly.
It's coming. It's coming soon. It's coming
You know, I have
soon.
no clue how many meets I bullied myself out of going to because I'm like, I would love to show up, but if I show up in the Lexus and there's no spectator lot, I'm going back home. You're not going to catch me parking next to another Lexus up in Get. Because,
How do you think
like,
I feel? I have a truck.
well, that's fair, but like at the same time, you could just blend in.
That's true. Yeah, I just park like a few rows
The
back.
Lexus is very obviously someone's car that they want to get into
Right.
cars, and it's just lowered on Z wheels
Right.
with no interior, cracked windshield, and the exhaust hanging out.
But the
and all.
vision's there.
The vision's there. The problem is I have too expensive of taste for my income.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Tell me about
I'm
it. Just
sitting
tell
here
me
like,
about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get these wheels. I drafted up $7,000. What? What? none of my vehicles are worth $7,000. What? But I mean, people aren't going to be able to evolve their tastes until you push them to do that, and
Absolutely.
that's why I think like the whole bullying people, respecting all builds makes no sense because no one's going to learn how to upgrade and move on.
Right.
You know, you don't learn how to stop doing something if people don't bully you for it.
Absolutely.
Bully-
Which sounds bad, but like,
No, I'm an advocate for bullying. Bullying and constructive criticism. No, because seriously,
no, constructive criticism, I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, bullying? You said bullying.
That's the problem. The problem is that people confuse constructive criticism with bullying. It's not bullying. I'm telling you, yo. I almost said something I shouldn't say. Your car does not look good as it sits. But here's what you can do to make it look better. Here's what you can do to tie it in. Here's what you can do to make that make sense. Like,
Stop buying wheels before you buy coilovers.
Euroliners on a Passat.
Oh, dude. Oh, it
Euroliners
hurts.
on
It hurts to hear.
Passat.
It hurts to hear. absolutely hurts to hear.
No tint either. Bro was raw dogging it.
Dude,
Bro
oh.
was proud of himself.
Listen, Fishbowl, I can respect Fishbowl
The
on
Lexus is
certain
Fishbowl.
cars. On certain cars.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lexus fishbowl. It's weird because I really don't like black tint on Lexuses that
No.
aren't black.
No, I agree. I
It
honestly,
looks weird.
hot take, I like chrome tint.
I love chrome.
I was going to say a lot of
Oh,
people
that is
don't like
not-
chrome tint.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
talked
that's
to a lot of people where they're like, dude, it looks
it's,
tacky.
It's tacky. I think it's, dude. I would. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna like kind of out myself here. The whole plan for the bike originally was satin black, chrome tint on the lights.
That'd be tough.
Chrome tint on the windshield.
That'd be tough.
Cause like, it's such a good look. It goes together so
That'd be tough.
well.
Yeah, I can't even argue that.
And it's like, and that's the other thing. Like, that's why I say concepts are important because, dude, if you looked at my bike now, you'd be like, yo, what is this? Like, the fairing's missing.
Oh, dude.
The front ride height is 4 inches higher than it looks like my bike is constantly.
You still haven't fixed that
gasping.
yet?
No,
Oh, dude.
no, I haven't.
Just bring it over.
I need to.
That's
I
all you gotta
really
do.
need. I'm so bad, but that's the problem. Is like, I have too many builds.
Yeah.
I have too much going on.
We need
I've
to
got-
fix the Lexus, or not the Lexus, the
Subi.
Subi, dude.
I know,
We got
that's-
the engine sitting in the corner.
Well,
we got the.
if some. Well, I can't say that. If some idiots didn't get Gatlinburg shut down, I would have had the money to do it because the
Right.
whole thing is I had a good bit of commissions for work while I was up in Gatlinburg. But as soon as it got canceled on Sunday, people were just like, "All right, I'm cutting my plans short and going home." I missed out on it. At least $2,000.
Right.
At least $2,000 worth of work, just because people canceled after Sunday, and it's just like, yo, ouch. I was kind of budgeting to, get this on the road
Right.
using that $2,000, and the consequences of other people's actions have affected me to the point where I am losing money, a lot of money. But speaking of money, I feel like a lot of ways that we could avoid having the people out there and stuff like that is by charging commission for meets.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm paying to have a lot, if I'm paying to get security, if I'm paying to make sure that we don't get shut down, I'm not going to tank all that on my own.
Right.
And it's not just because I'm not money hungry. I don't want your money like that. I would just rather the cost of security to make sure we don't have
To deal with.
Gatlinburg
Exactly.
happen.
And
Like-
that's a huge thing. And I was talking earlier about my the meets I used to host with that one cop. I mean, it was to the point where he knew when I would have the meets, he would show up and he was basically the security. Like, I mean, I didn't have to hire anyone, which was nice because he just enjoyed being there. But he stopped coming when that person lit off that firework.
Yep.
Like, I just walked right out in the middle, lit the firework, and then after that, he's like, listen, dude, he's like, you either got to fix who you're bringing to these meets and who you're inviting, or B, I'm just not going to sanction these anymore. I can't sit here and help you out anymore because I got people doing illegal stuff right in front of me. Like, I technically should go arrest that person. He's like, I'm not going to. Like, and I appreciated him for that. Like, he did me a
Yeah.
favor. But at the same time, though, he made a great point. It's like, you can't have all these people here or not have all these people,
Someone's got
but
to
yeah.
be responsible and held
Absolutely,
accountable.
absolutely.
Which is, again, the problem that's been happening is people have not been held accountable.
Right.
And it goes far beyond just those people. It goes beyond the high number of followers. It's the meets and it's hosts and organizers too. The huge thing about H2OI, when I did my research on it, and if you know what H2OI is, you know ball, you're old, you're unk.
What does that make us?
We're definitely.
Are we?
We're
Damn.
young. We're old in
Damn.
the car scene. I'm
Shit.
not gonna lie, dude. We are really old in car scene. It's pretty bad. But when I was doing my research into it, I found out like one of the people that got kind of things to be messed up was a former associate, not an owner or anything, but an associate of H2OI. Because somebody asked him to do a burnout or something like that, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? We'll do it. Just do it real quick and get it over with." But the problem is that people saw that one person do it, and they were like, "I want attention too. Let me do that," and then it just barreled from there. So I feel like, being kind of, I'm trying to think of a really good term, being. Help me out here.
Brain's not braining.
I'm not gonna.
It's kind of hard to help you out if I don't really know the context of anything. Come on now. Come on now, my boy.
I mean, for once, I'll cut it out. But being a dick to people about like You know, I'm just saying, like, you actually, honestly, genuinely have to be a and be like, yo, you can either pay $5 and, you know, come and enjoy yourself here, or get out because we're not going to welcome.
Asking for $5 is not steep. It's $5.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Like,
it's not like
if
we're
you- if
asking
you-
for like $40 some to come to a meet.
Like, I get it. You really do have to make your money back. You really do have to make sure
Right.
you're not taking a hit. But at the same time,
But if we're talking casual meets, I'm not going to charge you, you know, I'm using $40. I'm not throwing shade anymore, I swear. But $40 is it's excessive for me to show up just to look at some cars.
Yeah.
That's too much for me. I'm not going to pull up to some random parking lot that was, you know, for $5 or not for $5, for $40.
Right.
I would do it for $5. It's $5.
yeah,
It's
right.
not too
like,
bad.
I get that. Yeah, $5 is, you know, if for knowing that, yes, we're not going to get shut down. Cops aren't going to come in and
Right.
clear us out. I'm not wasting my gas.
And you're not wasting your time either. Time is a big
Yes,
thing.
time
Time
is
is
a
money.
huge thing.
And that's the thing too. It's like I'm not
As people who are residents of a city outside of Charlotte, going to anywhere in Charlotte is a major task because traffic on 77. Traffic on 77 is the biggest thing. B, gas is expensive. It's just the cost of being a car person has gone up so ridiculously much that our own, what's the word I'm thinking of here? The drive for money out of a lot of these bigger companies, the greed. I don't want to say greed, but
it is.
honestly
It
greed.
honestly is, unfortunately.
Like, you're taxing and you're going to complain when you can't make those sales. The whole reason why I started selling merch in Cars and Cruising was because I went to a car show, not going to name it, not going to name them or the company I was looking at, and I saw $80 hoodies was their lowest price. $80 hoodies. And I would understand if you were getting like the highest quality hoodie, highest quality prints. No. I'm talking, it was just a regular like Hanes
Yeah.
common fabric hoodie with, and again, I'm not
Like
gonna
a pressed
dog.
decal?
Yeah, I'm not
Oh.
gonna dog on them because I also do DTF transfers, but
But you're not charging $80.
I'm not
for
charging
it.
$80 for it, and I'm using good stuff.
Right.
I felt the hoodie. You're not supposed to feel, depending on what the transfer
Right,
you use,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not supposed to feel it because you know you can have certain weights to it. The edge came up when I felt
man.
it, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna spend $80 on this, throw it in the washing machine twice, and
It's donezo.
Yeah,
Right?
it's cooked.
Exactly.
So I was
It's
like,
not
you know
even worth
what?
it.
Like, you're taxing. Literally just because you have your name brand on it because you have 100,000 followers or
Right.
whatever. And that's the huge thing is just like, people need to stop being afraid of culling the crowd, whether it's through an honest charge of money, and B, just kind of moving things around so that, you know, people who shouldn't be in places where they want to be aren't there until they're good enough and should be
Right.
there. Like, I shouldn't have you pulling up to my car meet, even if it's a casual, no charge meet. Do not pull up with your stock car and park next to the clean cars.
There's no point.
I get your friends, but your friends need to do better and letting you know, yo.
Well, not even that. Even though you're friends, have some respect for the other people around. Like, and it sounds bad.
No. It doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad. If it sounds bad,
I
you're
guess
too
it's fair.
soft.
That's a good point. No, that's a good point. That is what this podcast is about.
You're
Yeah,
too
that's a good
soft.
point.
Why are you getting your feelings
Because
hurt?
like the thing is like if you got to have consideration for everybody else around you. Yeah, that might be your friend. You might want to pull up there, but you also got to think. Let's say, you know, Lexus, Subaru, Hyundai Elantra. Like I know like nobody wants to have to look at all of these amazing cars and then be like,
Yo, who is this
like
dude?
why is he in the middle? He's just interrupting the
No,
whole
seriously.
flow. It's just it ruins the vibe. Like
And
it really does.
I'm gonna sum it up. If you're not doing good enough, do better. If you're not able to be where you want to be, do what you can until you're there.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's about the people that you surround yourself with. You know, you've started hanging out with us again. Now we're sitting here. Hey, get a car. Get a car, Cam. Get a car.
It's funds though. It's
Get a car, Cam.
expensive. It's expensive.
Work it out, dude.
I mean, all right, come on out. Look where we're sitting. I mean, I got the
well,
shop.
Obviously,
all right,
you got
all
the
right.
shop and you got the house, but
This is a nice place.
Fair.
I was gonna say, you have a shop.
Actually, to be fair, I meant it more along the lines of I have to
Look what
dump
happened.
all my money into this instead of a car. That's what I meant it as. No, this place, I got to give myself some credit with
Yeah, I
the
was about
shop.
to say,
I
you
love
definitely
it.
do have to give yourself some credit.
Yeah, no,
It's
I love
pretty
the shop.
awesome.
This place is awesome. But it's more the fact that like I got to start, and the problem is too, I'm in college, which is a big setback. Like I had to quit the job that I did have that was making me money, that was able to get me this place, and I had to leave that for college and then get some, the job I have now
The
is okay.
situation you're
right.
in just doesn't.
It doesn't allow it right now.
But
I'm working
You
towards
don't. You still don't bring the Tacoma and flex it in the shop.
Why would I flex a Tacoma? Oh, in the shop?
In the show lot.
Oh, in the show lot? Why would I? Oh, yeah. No, why would I do that though?
I don't know. Let's
The Tacoma?
Let's
What
talk
did we
about
just talk
yesterday.
about,
Let's talk
though?
about yesterday. Let's talk about the random. Oh man, what car was it? There was a car parked up in the back of the exotic lot, right next to. Oh my gosh, what was it? It was the most random thing. I think it was like a RAV4 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It was just some random dude. It's like Porsche, Corvette, Mustang, RAV4. Porsche is like,
And
wait,
it kills
what?
the vibe. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
dude, it's like I want to take a picture of this sick lineup, and I've got a RAV4.
That goes back to the Hyundai Elantra example. Why am I gonna have to record and then go, oh, come on? Like it's like somebody, it's like somebody photobombing a picture. Like it's just not
Yeah,
worth
no,
it.
It's so bad. One of the things you can do to avoid having those kind of less desirable builds at your meet is avoiding posting the details publicly. You can try and keep them off of social media so that they're not just getting spread around, but also take away, take over kids getting their hands on them, because that is a huge problem with posting on Instagram, is that those flyers get sent to group chats. The group chats have people you don't want in it, and you end up getting that crowd that you don't want to have at the meet, which is where apps like Driving By come in super handy. Yo, Dale, can I get my water real quick?
The cool thing about Driving By is it has, like we were talking about with the events, that you can actually list your flyers on there and you can get RSVPs. It shows you a list of vehicle attendees. And another big problem in the car community is, if you've ever noticed when you're walking around, you see people recording your car and you see people taking clips of your car. And me personally, I would love those pictures. 90% of the time, I can't get those pictures. So the cool thing what they do in this app is they actually have a photo gallery for each event, which I think is an amazing
Absolutely
way
sick.
to. Oh yeah,
Absolutely sick.
And there's millions of photos out there that I just can't get now because
You
I don't
didn't.
know who was taking the pictures.
Yeah.
And I just never had the chance to go to them, and so
also-
they fixed that.
It also works and vice versa for us as creatives,
Oh,
because now
absolutely.
that we can go on there and see who was at the meet, go to your profile and use your virtual garage
Absolutely.
to go see, like, okay, this is definitely the car I took pictures of. Let me try and reach out to him so I can get the pictures. Now, tell me more about the virtual garage.
So yeah, the virtual garage is a really cool aspect. I love the fact that, because I'm a very disorganized person, especially when it comes to taking down lists and whatnot. Yeah, look around. No, we got the engine in the corner, all that fun stuff. But this will literally organize what you need to do to your car, it stat tracks basically what you've already done, what still needs to be done, all that good stuff, and it puts it all into a format like. It's super easy. It's organized for you. You don't have to worry about misplacing a piece of paper or misplacing, certain numbers that you need for, whatever you're trying to do to your car.
I lose my stuff all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And again, disorganized, I lose it all the time. So having that's a big thing for me, especially. But there is another thing that I really do want to touch on, is the connecting without usernames. So have you ever driven by a car and noticed, you never got to stop at a red light and be like, hey man, what's your info? I'd love to have you pop out on the meet or whatever, right? If they're on Driving By, you can actually connect with people with the year, make, and model of their car. So let's say earlier in the day, I'm driving around and I see a specific, Honda or whatever.
Yeah, like a really nice build.
Right. I don't know the guy. I wish I got his number.
Yeah.
I can go on Driving By and look up the year, make, and model, and his stuff's right there. You can find him and you can connect through that way. And you can
See, and that would have been
conversations.
something insane to have if Driving By was super popular mainstream right now. It would have been absolutely insane to have in Gatlinburg, because
gosh.
the amount of times you would pass another car and they're just going a little too fast, or there's too much traffic for you to be able to see what their Instagram tag is if they have it on the window. And
Rip
you're just
it
like,
off.
yo. What a hater. I can't even blame you, because I don't like it either. Take it off. No, the amount of times that you would see a build and be like, yo, I know that build is on Instagram. I don't know his tag. I've saw a lot of my internet friends, and the only reason I knew who it was is because I've known them off of internet for a little bit. Like, I have their personal numbers. I can reach out to them and be like, yo, I saw you here in Gat. Like, let's link up, whatever. But, like, to have that many people in one area, especially with how much action is going on, people are going from meet to meet, spot to spot, place to place, food to food. To have something like Driving By where you can just go on there, look in your area, and be like, yo, this guy was at Gat. We linked up. It was really chill. It was really cool, but I didn't get his information.
And now you got it.
Yep.
Another thing too, especially with connecting people, you can also connect businesses on there. There's a lot of businesses that I don't know if they work with Driving By or if they just have them on there, but it helps you find car services and all that good stuff in your area. It helps with that too. And you can, and there's a lot of stuff that's useful for me, especially having the GTI down for how many times and having to go to all these different shops. It was hard for me to find good, like reliable, reputable shops. And having that, I feel like that'd be an amazing feature to just,
absolutely. And speaking of reputable, if you want a good, nice, reputable meet to go to, something that's not going to go blow up in your face, always a fun time, always a vibe, and they do a great job hosting it. Street Scene Charlotte is having their autumn event on the 26th, I believe, of October this year. We will be out there live. We will have the podcast set up. We will allow you guys to get on for about 5 minutes per person and just voice your opinions on what's going on here locally. Once again, that's Street Scene Charlotte on Instagram. Go find them, add them, follow them. Always great events, always great peoples. Gotta love them. Gotta love what they do.
I'm really excited
for that.
Nothing but
community, all for the community. Love them. Another thing that they go through as a resource that is really great and really useful is the FOTE. The FOTE is a ticket service. It's a registration service that you could put your event up on there, put your prices, put your different ticket styles, when the tickets expire, and the FOTE will handle all of that. You can make your account. It doesn't really force you to make an account, but it does ask you for your details. If you're hosting a show and you want certain things and people have to submit their card to get approved to get into the show, the FOTE allows you to put the details of your build, even if it's just a business, you can put what you're selling, you can put pictures, you can put advertisements up in there. The FOTE lets you do all of that just through your phone, right where you're standing, within 15 minutes. Honestly, the longest time I'd ever taken to register something on the FOTE was getting ready for Slammin' of Charleston, and it only took me 10 minutes to put my business up, the car that we were taking, and the amount of people that was going. Great, streamlined service for getting your tickets, for getting your events. Everything is better with the FOTE. The last thing I want to touch on, another solution to avoiding having a bunch of barbarians come destroy your event, is group chats in specific places. Don't ever use your social media apps for your group chats. They're just not worth it. They're not designed to handle that high of a flow. They're not good for breaking down information. What's that app? It's the T one.
Telegram. Telegram's another good one.
Telegram is a great app.
And GroupMe. GroupMe is another. GroupMe is a great one as well.
A third one that I've started using recently, I can't advocate completely for it yet, but it's Flare. That one's really sick. It lets you put up flyers, lets you put up polls and stuff like that. Another very streamlined service. But avoiding putting these group chats into social media and trying to keep it off of platforms like Snapchat and Instagram, because
that's where it gets publicized, and that's where you end up getting a lot of that bad crowd, which you don't want.
Even with the admin things of being able to
it doesn't always
let people in, it doesn't work. So definitely start privatizing things more often. Not everybody has to know everything. Not everybody has to share everything. The less that some people know, the better it is for others. That is just some of the solutions we wanted to offer towards the problem in our topic today. Now, you may have noticed that this kind of feels a little bit short for a podcast, and as short as it feels in post, it is much longer in person. There's a lot more that gets said. There's a lot more that goes down. So to get the full, raw, practically uncut version of the podcast, there will still be some cuts because there's some stuff that should not be said here and there. We will be putting up a Patreon soon where we'll post the full, I'd say probably hour and a half, almost 2 hours worth of yapping that we do. But we'll get a lot more into subjects. We'll elaborate on them. We'll really get down and dirty on the full versions of these podcasts. So if you enjoy this, you want more, Follow us on Instagram at Cars and Cruisin'. He's Charlotte Pax.
Yep, CLT
I
or
will
C.L.T Pax.
Yeah, you gotta clean it up.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna
really
lie.
do. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it shorter. I'm gonna make it shorter.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go put this into the tag. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh.
I know. C.L.T _ Pax.
Yep. Go follow him there. Follow me at Cars and Cruisin'. Our camera crew, amazing, helpful camera crew behind the camera. Dale Painter, 34.
Yep.
And then Miss Dewey, Adrian Dewey, just straight up as it is.
Yeah.
You can find us bi-weekly. We're not going to be posting weekly just yet. We still got to get our schedule figured out, and we'll start having some guest hosts on here as soon as possible. But,
Should I volunteer?
we already have one. We have like 8.
Oh, yeah, we have
You guys have been.
lot of people.
We have a lot.
There's a
We should-
lot of
you
people
know
that
what,
want to
we'll
jump
just
on this
do
already.
like a flip podcast where we're the camera crew and
Yeah,
you guys
just,
are the
just
ones
interview them. We got
talking.
questions
Yeah.
or whatnot.
That would be absolutely sick. But yeah, if you want to see more of it, follow us there. My YouTube channel link will be below. I'm probably going to change the name of it soon, so I'm not going to say the name because I'm not sure what it'll be changed to yet. And we will also be trying to put this on Spotify and Apple Music too.
Yeah, I really do want
Apple
to try to
Music
get
would be
those on the.
great.
I really want to try to get Spotify and Apple Music. I think that'd be great.
Picture on it.
How many times the camera gets shaken or
Yeah. All over the place. Gotta love it.
we can't be the only ones ridiculing
Oh,
you.
no.
We gotta have fun for
Oh,
all.
yeah.
We're all shapes and sizes.
That's the thing. I mean, we try to keep it professional and we try to keep the topics,
This is a bare bones, true to style, just enthusiasts yapping about non-corporate bull.
real cars, real talk, real culture.
That is the whole point of this podcast. We're
Absolutely.
gonna get down and dirty, nitty gritty. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I'll go put oil on myself right now and then start the podcast.
What's the date for that meet again when we're going to set it up live?
October 26th.
Be there, be square. It's going to be lit.
We will not put the flyer up on the page. Go follow Street Scene Charlotte. The flyer is on their Instagram page. Go check it out. I think it's free for spectators. I think it's like $20 for a show car. Really affordable, really understandable, considering they get all the permissions for the lots. You'll never see a Street Scene Charlotte show get shut down. I can attest to this because I was their official media for heaven knows how long now, and I'm switching over from photos to videos for them because growth is great, all right?
Absolutely.
God is good. Y'all be safe.